I hear music.
Yeah. That blasted ice cream guy.
Oh,
Ours has the weirdest song. It plays this little song, goes, and then this woman's voice goes, hello.
what?
It's like, when we first moved here, I was like, what the hell is that? Is there like some lady on a loudspeaker out there yelling hello at people?
Oh, I've heard that one. I've heard that one. That one they used to play that one in my other neighborhood that I was in.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think the song they're playing is the theme song from The Godfather. So I'm like, interesting choice. Next Saturday, is that like Canada Day?
Yes, it is. Not this Saturday, but the next one after is Canada Day.
On I guess Canada Day, I am going to go learn how to make beer.
Oh.
Because I need another new project to go on. Since I've got my hands filled with making jam, growing vegetables, taking care of a dog, doing this. I just don't have enough things to do. But I figure we can make beer in the garage.
Making beer is fun.
Yeah. Beer is actually
David's brother works for Anheuser-Busch.
Okay.
Oh.
So
here
we used to get all the Budweiser stuff. And
what's it called? Here we have actually four. Well, in Regina, we have 4 different craft breweries in Regina.
Oh, that's nice.
4 of them. So, and they're. Okay. I still think my favorite beers are the darker ones.
The lagers and the darker ones.
Like the oatmeal stouts and
those are nice.
And Rauch beer.
Yeah. Oh, those the smoked.
Yeah.
Some of the pale ales are really nice.
Yeah, the pale ales are really good.
My old art teacher, actually he's my Photoshop teacher. Makes beer. He lives locally. He's actually going to meet us there. But he makes some of the best hemp beer I've ever tasted. I'm not really a big beer fan, and I love his beer.
I also, in
there's Bill.
In the summertime, I actually like rattlers.
The snakes? No, they don't strike me very well.
Well,
Tom.
Not rattle.
Not that kind of rattlesnake.
No.
So now when our new guy gets back, just move your mouth like this. Pretend like there's no.
Yeah.
No, we don't. We don't want to freak out the new guy.
But I like these. All the overlays are really good, Tom. Like,
I'm glad they allowed us to keep the overlays.
I am too.
The digital dice.
Actually, you know what? Sometimes when the bad things happen, they push me to learn new things, and I've now learned that although we can use these overlays for playing, I can also replace them later on the when I'm redoing it and make them move, which looks really cool.
Oh, they got some really cool editing stuff.
Yeah, Mountains in the Madness had like a snowy background or something like that.
You had the city. You had the city of New York. Then you had the water, and the water was floating by. Then you had Melbourne. Then you had the water floating by again, but this time the icebergs started floating by. And the snow was falling, and now the snow is getting heavier and heavier.
So,
speaking of which, I got to come up with one now for Antarctica. Oh, I did already. That's right.
For mine, Tom, halfway through, we'll be switching to another for my one. I think we're going to be switching halfway through because there's two parts to it. So
Okay.
you might have to make another overlay to kind of.
So what would the other one look like?
The other one, it's called Handful of Dust.
Yes, but what sort of overlay do you imagine? What sort of picture?
Sort of kind of like my my Love and Need, kind of maybe make it sort of like a hand with dust kind of.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, it's just kind of like maybe something with dust and kind of like a. What's
the setting? Is this the one that's in 1990?
No, this one is the actual Delta Green part. It's set in New Mexico.
Oh, that's a good one. Then I can put the dusty desert with the sort of stacks, whatever they're called.
I'll just make sure I'm actually correct, but it's
desert.
New Mexico.
Okay.
So
is there sort of an American Indian theme going on? You don't want me to say.
I don't. You'll see what happens. Yeah, let's see here. I'll just make sure I'm correct on it, but
agent. I thought about calling you 3 times, Wayne, and asking you, do you really want to stick with that agent name?
Actually, it was just a joke. You were like, because I was thinking about it, and I was while you sent me that message, I think I was watching something on YouTube about.
Yeah, I mean, it was at the moment. I can change it in 30 seconds and send you a new one.
Sure. Let's see. I'm an engineer. Agent Nye. NYE.
Like Bill Nye?
Bill Nye, yeah. He
Agent
works for Boeing.
Yeah. It is.
And he's sort of, I will say that he looks like Russ from True Detectives.
Jeff. Hello.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
Jeffrey.
Hey, Jeff.
Hello.
Jeff, Lucas was here a second ago, and he's having trouble with his sound. And I told him you were the expert because you always suggest something.
Did you try turning it off and on?
That's what he's doing right now. That's what he's doing.
But he's using a PC and not a Mac, so there's your first problem right there.
That's your first problem. Yeah.
Huh.
Not to mention the fact that I don't know anything about
I'm
PC.
surrounded by Apple heads.
Well,
what are you on, Corey?
I'm on a PC, but I have basically every kind of thing. I have a iPad. I have.
Hear me?
There you are.
Yes.
Ta-da!
Hi, everybody.
Cable.
Hey, Lucas.
Hi, Lucas.
There we go.
Lucas, that's Jeff. Jeff Lucas.
Hi, Jeff.
Good to meet you.
Hi, Bill and Wayne, officially.
Hello.
Hey.
I can either do this and just mute it when I'm not talking, or I can work with someone to make sure I do my settings correctly with my headset. However you prefer.
Okay,
Well, I'm not getting any sort of echo or feedback from this.
Lucas.
Who else
what
are
did
you?
you say? I'm sorry. Wayne, what name did you say?
Nye.
Nye, that's right. Okay.
Are we? Is everybody here then?
Yeah.
Oh, we're waiting on Mick.
Yeah.
But
It's NYE, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
I've done this stuff before, but for trying to do my own YouTube channel and do games online, I am definitely not very tech savvy. So it takes me. I have a bigger learning curve.
Lucas, I knew absolutely nothing 2 years ago.
Yeah,
just pick it up.
Yeah, I do that. I talk with people, friends, anybody. I'm like, help me.
There's still whole bunches of it that I don't know how to do. I need a crew.
Yeah. If I just had a faster internet connection, I know that would help. I'd be really happy with that.
That would really, really help. When I was in Boston and started this whole thing, I had 70 megabits per second upload. Now I have 5.
Oh, I'd love to have 5. Where's my overlay?
Makes you yearn for the days where you hear at a
Those were the
128
days
baud
when-
modem flame throwing speed.
I'm about to send it to you, Wayne.
Okay.
Well, I do have. I hit the upload. The overlay was on a minute ago, but now it's not here. Unless I need to wait longer.
It falls off pretty quickly. I think, like if you minimize the window or something, you have to upload the overlay almost all the time.
Did the overlay, so I can click it off. Click it back on. There it is.
There you
There
are.
it is.
Is that on there correctly? Right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
You can
It's going to
flip it
look
if you want
backward
to,
to
but
you.
it always looks straight to us.
Okay. Let's see.
Players, where
Here
are
we
you?
go. Oh, okay. So I'll take that off. Turn that on. There we go.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay. Cool. Now I got to reopen all my PDFs. So yeah, I can figure out maybe the proper setting later. Let's see. I know you open up sounds. So I have a really nice
Now, why is
microphone, which has a headphone jack, but
I'm so stupid. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're not getting any echoing on your system. I mean, that's great.
We did when he first started, but
But I mean,
Hey.
but how come he's not getting it now?
I don't know.
I know I'm in a room that has echo for sure. It's not a studio by any means. It's just a spare bedroom we use as the office.
No, what usually happens is your microphone is picking up your speakers, and it creates like a feedback.
Oh, okay.
But we're not hearing it, so I would say don't touch it.
All right, I'll do that, and I can work on it in between sessions and things
There
to
you go.
figure it out. Don't touch anything.
Have you? Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean it to sound that.
No, that's fine.
Like, don't touch.
Leave it.
No.
All right, Wayne, it's on the way. Took me a
No,
couple
don't
minutes
touch. Don't touch.
So
there. So let's see. You're not all wearing red shirts tonight, so that's good.
I wore a Call of Cthulhu shirt for just this occasion, supporting Miskatonic University.
Oh, excellent.
Might be a little hard to read from there, but
I've seen that one.
hopefully that'll protect me.
We got an elder sign, right? You got the incorrect elder sign right there in your chest. And I guess everybody thinks that it's the branch thing because that's what Lovecraft said. Like on Jeff's symbol. I like the star.
Yeah, it's the branch. What is that? Like the branch or like an antler or something, wherever that is supposed to be?
Yeah.
Ish.
That's supposedly the elder sign that Lovecraft
Okay.
was talking about. And then once you've got your overlay up, what you do, then you can click on the blue button up at the chat button because we tend to do a lot of chatting. I can send you secret messages and you can reply to them and stuff.
That's right.
And do you want to give him the instructions for private messaging?
Yeah, you'd have to write that down because it's always if I send you something, you can reply to it. Otherwise, what you do is you do / then the word to and then a space and then the first part of whatever the person's name is. Like in my case, it would be Tom.
No,
And
you're under
then-
Into the Darkness. Yours is not your name.
It's not.
No.
Oh, at last.
There he is, Mick.
Mick.
God, I've been trying to
You
connect for about 15 minutes.
Oh boy.
It just kept coming up. You know, it didn't have the consent page thing,
Oh.
consent applet. And it just kept saying error. No idea what was going on. Instead of the details of the other accounts being at the bottom, they were at the top, and it said you do not have permission to join this call.
Huh.
Your reputation
Mick?
precedes you.
Mick, this is Lucas. Lucas, Mick.
Hello.
Hi, Mick.
How do you do?
Hi. Very well. I've seen almost all you guys in a few episodes, so I feel like I know all of you better than you know me. So I'm gonna hopefully do my best.
Oh no, we've been watching you too.
You know that new fire alarm that we installed in your house? Just don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Sometimes when you look into the darkness looks back at you.
And I'm just as new as you are, Lucas. I've only been on a couple of episodes, so we're the new folks here.
I like it. I've been for about 10 months. I started. It's called the Cthulhu Hack. Actually, I have it over there. It's a small book. It's a very basic Call of Cthulhu game. I did a season with that, and then we changed our game to Call of Cthulhu, and then did Crimson Letters, which we just entered a few weeks ago, which I actually watched you guys play first so that I could get and know-how about that particular storyline. So that really helped out.
The Crimson Letters.
I borrowed a few concepts from Tom, the other Tom, who was running it. I'm like, yes, I like that. I will use that. Oh,
The fact is, we do that a lot too.
I actually do like the Crimson Letters.
That was a fun one. Now, so far, I've died twice, and I still don't know how I keep coming back to life.
Yeah, you guys. I remember you guys went off the bridge into the water. That should have been pretty fatal, probably. But you got out of it, which is good.
That wasn't my fault. My foot's
No.
Didn't you
This,
fail another
I'm
dex roll when you did that, Wayne?
Hmm?
Didn't you fail another dex roll when you did that?
It was a drive roll.
Oh, okay.
And
I need dice.
If you were running it, you would have told me to roll a dex.
Right. Everybody do a spot hidden except for Wayne. Wayne, you do a dex roll.
It's going to come and bite you in the ass one day.
So, in the beginning of this, what I'm going to do is I'll be after my normal introduction. I'm going to say, let me introduce you to our cast of players, and I'll just go down the line with your names. You can just say hi, wave, and then later on, realize this is the first episode, so there's going to be a lot of. There'll be a point where my NPC leaves you guys alone together, at which point your characters can introduce themselves to each other. You know?
Yeah.
I think I explained all that in an email.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
because your characters do not know each other.
Okay.
Sorry, what was that?
Right.
Say, I'm sorry, one more time.
Or a dice roller, physical dice. It's all fine.
Physical dice is fine.
I'll go.
We trust you. Dice roller, I'm always wary of having anything else running on my computer while I'm doing this.
Yeah, that's true.
I just used my phone.
Oh, that's cool. That sucks up some of your bandwidth, though. Unless it's...
No, it's just an app. It's not really.
Okay.
I
just use these old-fashioned things called dice.
I've heard of those. I've heard of those spoken in whispers. Like
they're rare. These were dug up in Egypt underneath the pyramids.
So did anybody on this call, did they pony up for the metal Call of Cthulhu dice, the $60 set of dice, $80 set of dice? because I will mock you immediately.
So that would really wreck your table, wouldn't it?
It would. The first roll, okay, you just ding the dang table, yeah.
I don't know what did I get, Jeff? I got the 3 sets, the 3 different. Or are those metal or are they?
Those are plastic. Those are like regular dice with special imprint,
Just
and they come in
like
fancy little boxes.
They're like
Yeah.
Yellow sign. I was quite tempted by the yellow sign ones. Sorry, if you noticed that I'm scratching quite a lot tonight, it's because I took Lug for a walk earlier on, and the midges have come out, so I've been bitten to death by midges.
No, the yellow sign. It looks like they've done a
pretty
gorgeous job on that Kickstarter, but I'm still waiting on 5 other different Kickstarters for RPG stuff, and I just have to kind of say no to myself eventually.
Cool.
It was all I could do not to say something. Is there anything that stands out? What, that wasn't enough? That desk wasn't enough that's standing out?
Well,
what I mean by that is like after you get acclimated to
I
a room like
I
that.
know, but it would have been a cheap shot, as they say. But.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cheap shot.
It would have been. Now, why does that flower pot look just like a gigantic dildo?
You kind of got me off guard there, Tom. But it was.
Why is there a vagina on the? Yeah.
Thank goodness I didn't sit down in my $800 suit. I would have been scandalized.
Well, what?
This
is weird. It's like my character is, really smart, and it's just this whole room has been like, sort of like
I warned you. There's gonna be some nasty shit in this story.
I bet it's just like my character is thinking, he's like lost all kind of like intelligence. Like he stepped in the room, and it's kind of like it's like makes him dumb. I like it so far, Tom.
Cool. I will send you guys a picture of the room so that you guys can.
Please.
Actually, I think
not that room. I think he's talking about the storage unit.
Yeah, I don't want
the storage.
There's not a mason jar next to the radiator containing what appears to be a large quantity of wallpaper paste and a decaying pony.
So there was a lot of stuff in the beginning that you had to sort of absorb all the info. Although basically, you basically know everything now. I mean, there's an open box. You need to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the inventory of the stuff is going to be fun.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think it should be done there. Nope. Someplace warm that's not the trailer.
Yeah, I thought that was a good idea about getting a hotel room.
The trailer's nothing but corruption at this point.
Yeah, a motel room might seem like a better option unless you get out the UV lamp.
Don't have
and then most of them are exactly the same as that office.
Too.
That is very true.
In a disaster area, I live in Florida, and whenever there's an evacuation or whenever there's something like that, hotel rooms are the first to go, and prices go through the roof. So there's going to be a challenge in finding the hotel room to begin with.
You guys keep forgetting the whole town is practically in shelters because, I mean, if you need someplace temporary, you can do anything you want. You can break into somebody's house and use their house. Nobody's going to know.
We could go into the office. It's right there, and it's a home.
There's also lots of abandoned homes around.
Well, we're FEMA. We can requisition.
Just hold up your badge. I'm commandeering this on behalf of FEMA.
I thought of actually doing that for the whole public storage place. We could say that we had a unit here and it was contaminated.
Sure. I mean, it's a perfect cover because FEMA has kind of carte blanche, right?
Yeah. Excuse me. I was looking them up online. They're actually a Department of Homeland Security. So
That's true.
we, as long as we don't get caught, we could probably at least buy ourselves some time.
Well, even if we do get caught, you know, depending on who it is, you could probably bluff your way through it. You know, patriotism, go America, blah blah
in this
blah.
game, you're expected to do that. Yes.
Oh, no, that's a difficult angle, though, isn't it? Because for most sort of far right types and so-called patriot types, FEMA is the big bogeyman, isn't it?
Oh, sure. We have death camps available.
Yeah. So,
Well, and there's
some people
one
are going
other
to be
thing.
very antagonistic towards FEMA.
There's also one other thing that you guys should consider. You aren't really FEMA,
Yeah.
so
Oh, that's
I know
right.
all about conspiracy theorists. I work for RAND, which means that I'm definitely the CIA, apparently.
I'm sure David Icke would like to have a word with you.
Yeah, I'd like to have a word with David Icke.
Who wouldn't, man? That'd be awesome.
I'll wear my yarmulke for that one.
I hope you guys have fun with this one.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I've been
we will.
looking forward to this.
We've got
I
a
think
good mix of players.
I think I'll give you only one warning, and that's that I have to be hard on you on this. If you make serious mistakes, you're going to face the consequences. These may not be characters that you ever get to play again, because
That's fine. I mean, that's part of the fun.
right.
And this is a male character for me, so I'm not too tied to it. No, it's
Yeah,
a female
don't you usually play female characters, Wayne?
Yeah, I usually do.
I
usually don't, so I decided to mix it up.
Yeah, nice. It's nice. It's a nice change. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think you did good to this.
Thanks. I'm hoping to heal someone. I got like a first aid kit in one hand and a Desert Eagle in the other. So whatever comes.
Heal
Desert
or I'll
Eagle.
kill you.
Desert Eagle probably weighs more than you do.
Exactly.
He's small. I forgot how much, but yeah. Ready to. Yep. Wear the gloves the whole time, just to keep everything off.
It's actually a really interesting touch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a nurse who's a germaphobe or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, she's a surgeon, I think, isn't she?
Okay.
She's done
She
a lot of
She
things.
can do surgery.
Yep.
What's interesting is well, I've met a few medical people who are extreme germaphobes.
Oh yeah.
So that's not that unusual. It's just when you're working in Delta Green, being a germaphobe, it's like, oh shit.
And and
Well, they're
But also based on our conversation, I'm sure that she has reasons for being the way that she is.
right,
Oh, yeah.
which only she can reveal to you. If
Exactly.
that's one of those things that you put on there that can be taken away if we go insane, which that would be really interesting to see how that progresses. I thought that'd be a really good one to make it obvious. So if it goes away, it would also be obvious. But I guess we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, I hope I didn't push too fast. I hope I didn't give you too much info.
Well, I think now we can get settled in, right? We've
Yeah.
had the
Right.
information dump. You know, we've kind of settled into two teams, and now I think we just let the investigation follow its course, right? I think that's the easiest thing to do. It's a lot more natural than everybody wandering around as a group of six.
Yeah.
That turns it into the Keystone Cops almost.
Mm.
And yet, on the other side of that, if most of the scenario plays out at one particular location, then that means you have a certain amount of people that aren't doing anything for the game.
I leave that to the GM. I'm sure he could make it interesting for the other people at the drop of a hat. So
Well,
we can't drive fast to get back to them, though. That's not going to work. Well, keep that in mind.
Step on it. 3 hours later, we get there. Don't spare the horses.
You guys are all, of course, still connected in that you're all agents and you're all trying to accomplish something. So there's no time gaps. I mean, they're back at the office right now while you're doing this.
Right.
If you collect all your inventory and take it somewhere, they're going to meet you there.
Right.
I mean, so it's not like you're going to be like left out, but
yeah, it's not. It's also not like 1920s Call of Cthulhu where send a telegram or send a messenger, and no, you just beep, beep. You know, if you've got a couple of bars, you know, then you can coordinate through the cell phones or texting or something like that.
Just don't call them on the cell phone and say, "Hey, there's a Shoggoth over here that we need to take care of."
You just ask him, "What's the code for Shoggoth again? What did we come up with?" You know, there's an umbrella in the stand. Yeah.
How about just fully shit?
Yeah. Are any of you right now watching the Twin Peaks, the new stuff?
What's it on? Where's it at?
It's on Showtime. Did any of you watch the Twin Peaks years ago?
I was a little young at that point.
I watched the first series, but I kind of
I'd like to watch
series kind of lost my interest.
I see. Okay.
The closest thing to that is somebody mentioned True Detective. That was the last thing. The first season of True Detective was pretty damn amazing, and I think that's the most recent thing I've seen.
Yeah, no one finished watching the second season of True Detective.
Yeah, I think we made it about a half hour into the first episode of the second season. We're like, okay, we're done here.
Yeah. First season
the
was
first
great.
one was so amazing.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I brought it up is, our website. Well, one of our websites is Facebook is the Blue Rose.
Yeah.
So the reason why I chose the Blue Rose is because of Twin Peaks. When you first start watching it, there's a character named Agent Dale Cooper, Special Agent Dale Cooper. And as you progress, what you find out is that Agent Cooper is assigned to very unusual cases because Agent Dale has certain innate abilities to recognize weird things that are going on, and he doesn't always know that he's recognizing, but through his dreams and stuff, he can slowly put things together that aren't there. Well, his boss, who is actually in the series played by David Lynch, named Gordon. Right from the beginning, when Gordon shows up, Gordon talks at the top of his voice all the time because he's mostly deaf. Okay? He has no control over the volume of his voice. So there's all these great scenes where he goes into a room and he says, I need to speak. I need to speak to you alone, Dale. And he's like, without the others. And they'll, of course, show the others in the other room, and they can hear him just as plain as day. And he'll say these really, David Lynch-isms. He'll be in there and he'll be like, Dale, when I saw you today, you reminded me of a Mexican chihuahua. And these stupid little things come out all through the series. Well, in the movie that came afterwards, there's a scene with an agent and Gordon, who speaks at the top of his voice. And he takes the agent and he says, there's something I need to show you. They walk around a building and there's a woman standing there. And she's in this strange sort of getup, and she does things. She puckers up her face and she sort of wiggles and she scratches her hair and she does all these things. And he says, this is my sister's second cousin on her mother's side. He just says all this shit. And then the agents get in their car and they're driving away. And the one agent who's the new guy, he says, so what was all of that about? And he says, well, you see, Gordon has a hearing problem. So he speaks at the top of his voice. So every single thing he says to us is in code. And then he breaks it down. That she's dressed in red. There's going to be very much danger in the area. There's white stitching on the thing. It means this. There's she's the second cousin. That means that the police in that area are not going to be friendly towards us. And he goes through all this list, and then finally the guy says, "Well, what about?" And the guy says, "Did you notice anything else?" He says, "Yeah, she was wearing a blue rose." And he goes, "That means that this is one of the very special and very strange spiritual, psychological sort of things going on." So the blue rose has always been the symbol in that show for something very dark going on. Usually something that has to do with the spiritual realm or the forces that we can't understand, aliens, or exactly what Delta Green would be looking at.
Well, one show that had a lot of promise was one called Wayward Pines.
Yeah.
That had kind of a Delta Green vibe to it. You know, it starred Matt Dillon, and it had a Delta Green, but it had a very much of a Twin Peaks vibe. It was almost like a second cousin to Twin Peaks.
Well, and of course, X-Files came after Twin Peaks, as well as Northern Exposure and a lot of those other shows that have a definite flavor of.
Yeah. And Millennium, if anyone out there remembers Millennium.
Yeah.
Fringe as well.
It really affected a lot of stuff, you know.
Oh yeah, it's David Lynch. Yeah.
And
now
they're finishing the story.
Second season of Millennium was great. The first season is unwatchable.
Yeah.
But the second and third season are really good. Just they completely redid it after the first season.
Yeah, I think they rebooted it after the first season. It's like, okay, we need to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
But I love Lance Henriksen. You know.
I've heard rumors of a reboot.
Really? Yep. That would be very interesting. It was a pleasure as always. I will see some of you. Well, I guess I won't see you next Tuesday. I'll see you next Friday. We won't be doing Mountains of Madness, I guess. So.
Correct.
Everyone have a great weekend.
You too.
And I will see you next Friday.
We'll see you next Friday.
Cheers.
Can't wait to learn about your creepy stuff in your character. Thank you. It's going to be my character's job to find out what his character knows about the mythos.
Jeff, in one that we played, he gave me the task of seeing if I could get somebody to reveal their real name to me, and I did. I got Simon to do it.
That's the one I watched.
That was fun.
I'm just gonna do it because that's another one of the quirks is wanting to know about weird stuff. I'm gonna play on that. And apparently, I'm not sure what he really is, but he's the bookman. Let's go with bookman. I like that.
Actually, I find it funny that you guys are all hesitant to tell each other what you do, because
Well, you said that we don't know each other.
It was all stressed to be so secret.
Just because you say that you are a mechanical engineer doesn't mean that you're giving anything away. You're just saying, in this mission, I'm going to be the mechanical engineer because I know all about that stuff. You know, or the medical, or...
I did say medical, right?
Yes, you did. You made it clear that you were like a doctor. But nobody knows where you're from or what your name really is. So
I did give an alias name, but I thought we were supposed to be...
No, that's good. Yes, you don't give your real name.
Okay. Yeah, I got all paranoid, because especially when you read those anixioms or whatever, how it's pronounced, there's like 44 of them.
The axioms, yeah.
Thou shalt not, or thou shalt, like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I almost feel like I'm really part of a real organization, but I can't even tell my wife about this game right now.
One of them is I think it's never lie to another agent except about who you are.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, that's how I've interpreted the
Right.
Green. That we're not supposed to know about each other at all, is my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, you have to know about what you do. I mean, you got to know which one of you is a marksman and which one of you is a doctor and which one of you.
Only when it comes up is my opinion.
The only
Yep.
things I gleaned was me being medical, someone being a book knowledge, and 2 people are good at computer science plus chemistry. I'm not sure about anybody else.
I'm pretty good at computer science.
Okay.
The fact is, you guys can handle that any way that you want to.
Yeah.
Just don't want to give any clues like I live in Mississippi and my name is Tom or something like that. You know, it's like, oh crap.
Mm-hmm.
Even that wouldn't get you much. That would be pretty hard to find out who you really were.
Hey.
But
Hey, Corky, I'm your neighbor. I'm right across.
Yeah, as of Thursday, I think my character in Horror on the Orient Express is now going to be called Dr. Corky Keith. And my character for Mountains of Madness is going to be called Captain Corky Sugden.
Corky Sugden.
You can't do that.
It was such a strange dream because he was so absolutely fucking livid about it. I can't imagine you being that angry.
I can't either.
Especially not about something as like pointless as that. You just can't do it. Stop doing it.
I can picture like fast forwarding like another 2 years from now, every character stuff, and eventually I will snap. You just keep pushing the joke further and further. And eventually,
Did I miss something? What's the joke?
The reason my character is called Agent Corky is because about 3 weeks ago, I had this bizarre dream in which Jeff and I were having an enormous row because he was just getting absolutely furious about me calling every character Corky. That all my characters have been called Corky for about a year. It's just doing his head in. And he was like, he was going purple with veins throbbing on his forehead and just screaming on the computer about it. Oh dear.
Not Jeff.
I know. So that's why he's called Agent Corky this time.
Agent Corky.
Friend request.
I should have called him Agent Conky.
Agent Conky.
A couple of friend requests
Conky.
via Facebook.
Well, and when you were like, Agent Curly, it's like, yeah, he's kind of balding and he has a little goatee, and I'm like, what?
well, yours isn't officially a goatee, is it?
I don't know what's the difference.
I think the goatee is where the mustache connects with the beard.
Yes, I think what you've got there is that's called a grandee, isn't it?
I don't know.
I mean,
sometimes it's just this.
Is it
just like a soul patch, or isn't this? If it's like this, isn't that a Van Dyke or an Imperial?
That might be a Van Dyke. Sounds familiar.
Imperial is if you've got a moustache and a soul patch. That's the Imperial.
Yeah. I was thinking. I keep seeing people with the little curly cues, and I keep wondering if this hair would actually ever grow out that long. So I don't think I've ever seen it any longer than this. I guess if I never cut it.
If you didn't cut it and you trimmed it, use some wax and stuff.
But I've had a mustache since I was 16, except when there maybe twice in my life I've cut it off, but I couldn't stand my upper lip once I did that. I don't remember it ever growing that much. So I always kind of imagine that the hairs get to a certain length and they either stop or they fall out. So I just don't know if I could ever get a curly.
I think it'd be the same as the rest of your facial hair. It would keep going.
Probably. Maybe I've just been meticulous. Well, not really meticulous, but I've been consistent about cutting it when it gets to a certain length. I can't
had a
stand
pen
it when it
pencil
comes into my
moustache for a
mouth.
while.
Oh yeah, when it gets there and it starts, yeah.
I just immediately, can't handle that. And I used to have a full beard, but I can't stand that anymore either.
Mine goes well over my lip, but it gets to a certain length where you can just comb it away. Well, it used to be absolutely brilliant because it was an absolutely perfect length. It was fine. It never got in the way. And then I went to see this asshole of a barber.
Oh, this guy.
And I said, and I said to him, "Oh, can you just don't touch this though, will you?" Meaning the moustache. And he decided that what I meant was, don't touch these bits on the end that I specifically just touched then. And my hands hadn't even got down to my sides before he brought up the clippers and just went and just took out the middle of my moustache. And then I started swearing quite a lot, and he didn't get paid.
Yeah, there you go.
If it was being beeped, there would have just been one long tone for about 3 minutes. Me doing this. I was absolutely furious. And he was a big man, but he was clearly frightened. That's what amused me about it.
He is a big man, and he had a razor and a pair of scissors, and still he was frightened.
He wasn't a real barber, though. He wasn't a real barber. He went out of business. And after I'd been in there, I went to a different barber. And they said, where did you go? And I told them. And they went, no, not him. No one goes to him. He's awful.
Wow.
Yeah, great. Thanks for letting me know.
What is going on here? Oh, I was trying to confirm your request for a friend.
Tried to friend anybody I could find in that group that's out here. Mick is the only one I couldn't actually do a friend request, only to follow. So I was like, well, okay, I'll follow. Settings and things, but I did through I use both Facebooks to try to join because I'm on the other one more, but I use my gamer one to friend request everybody because, well.
I can send you a friend request in 20 hours.
That's fine.
I can't do that. I can't do anything with my Facebook account until then.
Are you accomplishing a lot around the house now that you've banned?
Yes, today I built a shed.
Wow.
And I've got to finish some flooring in the bedroom tomorrow, and I've got to put up a pull-up bar in there. And I got into a conversation with my next-door neighbor, which is weird because
there you go. I approved you.
Indoors.
Oh, thanks.
It's been very productive without Facebook to distract me, and I got a lot of work done as well. Which is good because the postman came the other day with this stack of letters for me, like loads of files and things that I've got to. Why can't they just email you these things? Local government, it's bizarre. Just PDF. Send me a PDF. They don't know they have to send you a photocopy. Some of which are redacted, like in actual marker pen.
What the hell?
On your photocopy?
Yeah.
In other words, not a photocopy of a redacted piece, but...
No, it's a photocopy that they have then redacted. You can see it on the back. The marker pen's gone through to the back.
Oh, wow.
And in most cases, you can hold it up to the light and still read it.
That's what I was just going to say. That doesn't seem very secure.
Yeah. No, it's not very secure at all. I mean, I've had to have a CRB check anyway. I've had like a security check before I do it because obviously it's under like data protection law. It's classified as sensitive information because it's people's personal details and health information and financial information. And nonetheless, they're very lax with it all.
So I just got a request. Hi, Thomas. I'd like to join your LinkedIn network. From some guy named Alexander something. I can't pronounce that last name. And I'm like, I don't know this person. Who is this person? And it says, shift supervisor at Taco Bell in greater Boston area.
He's looking to come up.
I mean, my networking with this Taco Bell shift supervisor. What the hell is that? It's got to be fake. I'm not going to do it. It's crazy.
He's already trying to get you into one of the biggest corporations in the world, Taco Bell.
I don't even like Taco Bell very much. I like Del Taco. They got hamburgers.
I love Taco Bell. Taco Bell does not love me anymore. I'm getting older, and I'm noticing that there's certain foods that just don't work.
Like probably one of the only people who goes to Del Taco for the hamburgers.
Oh, hey. All right.
And I do like Mexican food. I just don't like Taco Bell because I can't get a hamburger there.
Is it really Mexican food, or is it just really Americanized?
Yeah,
would be
Americanized.
Mexican food, right?
Although we do have some outstanding Mexican food here in Southern California because the Mexican population is probably 80%. Well, maybe not 80. But you don't go to Taco Bell. You go to
Authentic restaurant,
Mama Juana's or something like that down at the corner. But all the really nice Mexican places are. Yeah, they're it's not expensive. It's nice.
Menus. It seems like it's the same food, but always prepared just a little bit differently, and the menus are huge. Maybe that's just here.
Well, if you can go someplace and get like a soup with actual fish pieces floating in the soup, then it's Mexican food.
That's good. All right.
Fish
soup.
There's actually a little place it's probably about 20 miles from here, but where it was a family that literally converted their house into a restaurant. So when you go in to eat, there's like maybe only 4 or 5 tables, and they're all in their living room.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
With a fireplace and stuff like that. And
that sounds great.
Yeah, it's actually really nice.
Oh, this food
is really good. Hi, kitty cat.
Yes.
What's your cat's name?
This is Precious. And she's okay. All right. She's about 14. My sister got her for me as a surprise Christmas present one year when I was you get your brother who lives in an apartment with another dude post college years, a kitten to take care of because he's responsible. Anyway, it was the time of Lord of the Rings, so I named her Precious after the One Ring of Power.
Excellent.
Yeah. She is beautiful, but she is all evil incarnate, which is why the name works.
Ah, perfect.
And she was gonna be my blood sacrifice night, as you said, but she got away. So
oh well.
Next week.
We just got that new dog, Gunner. He's a dachshund.
Gunner?
But he's just now getting over a cold, so he's actually getting a lot more chipper than he was, but he follows me around everywhere. Actually a pretty good dog. They told us he was 3 years old, and then the vet told us he's probably more like 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But that's okay. He's completely housebroken, and he's not too out of control. He just likes to sit around and snuggle and watch TV with you and sleep.
That's
nice.
If he was like 2 years old, then he would be probably a little more, especially as a little dog, maybe a little crazier. I got a good age.
Well, Lug's 6, and he's still completely hyperactive.
And I'm in here secluded right now, and he doesn't know that I have this. But
oh yeah.
he's got another one out there that's a littler one that's yellow, but he likes this purple one. He's gonna tear this up.
I've got no toys in here at all. Lug has this thing that he does late at night where he'll just he'll slowly ferry his toys and his blankets that he likes to suck. and he'll take them from the bed, from his sofa in the living room. He'll just take them one at a time. He'll go back and forth and take everything to his bed in the hall. So he's got all his stuff out there, and then he'll go to sleep out there. And then in the morning, he brings it all into the living room again, into the sunshine.
Wow, that's awesome.
He's really. I once caught him at my last house. I was working. I heard him coming down the stairs, and I looked out into the hall, and there he was coming down the stairs with one of my socks in his mouth. And he walked into the kitchen and just put the sock down in front of the washing machine and went back upstairs again. And I don't know whether he was helping me or whether it was just a criticism about smell. Because he's a weird dog. I mean, it's been quite hot the last couple of days, so he's not been doing much. I really have no idea how he's going to react when we get to Portugal, but
we were at a friend's house over the weekend, and their next door neighbor's moving, and they can't take their dog with them. So our friends have decided they will take the dog. It is a full-sized German bull mastiff.
Holy cow.
I have never seen a dog this big. Its head is bigger than my head. It's monstrous.
Yeah, I used to have a kind of
sweet, very sweet dog, very friendly. Leans on you, knocks you over.
Yeah, really big dogs like that are usually quite sort of phlegmatic.
Yeah.
Phlegmatic is the word I want there, not phlegmatic. Very phlegmy. Well, they are very phlegmy as well.
I don't know. There was just goo dribbling down from this dog.
Gino used to do that all the time.
In big, long,
we got banned from one of the pubs in the village because Gino shook his head and a great big streak of it landed on the table of some tourists. He always looked like he'd just eaten some tennis shoes and had the laces hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was funny because the dog comes up, leans on you, and you're like, "Oh, what a sweet dog!" And then it turns its face towards you, and you're like, "Holy crap, keep away from me!" My God, I don't want that.
I really think, I mean, when time comes to get another dog, I'd like to get another kind of Corso. They're fantastic dogs. They're also. I think they're also the dogs in Game of Thrones, the dogs that eat the woman and her child. But they're great dogs. They're lovely dogs. They're proper one-man dogs. They just want to be next to you all the time, and that's enough. All they want to do is just be with you, and that's enough for them. They'll just quite happily be asleep next to you, or they'll go for a 10-mile hike with you. But just as long as they're next to you, that's it. My worry is that we'll get to Portugal and it'll be very, very hot, and my dog will never do anything again. He'll just lie there sleeping in the shade forever. That's no bad thing. And at the very least, we get away from what has now become a very embarrassing country to be from. And it looks like if we get over there before the Brexit is formalised, we will get to be EU citizens. I'll quite happily give up my UK citizenship. Also, I found out quite a lot about Portuguese immigration rules, because there's a trick that illegal immigrants use in Portugal, which is my standby, which I think is just brilliant because it's just so wonderfully naive that the Portuguese authorities basically they look for illegal immigrants by checking the property tax lists and looking for people who have names that don't sound Portuguese. So the illegal immigrants have learned that you get over there and just change your name immediately. You go see a lawyer and change your name to something really Portuguese sounding, and they just leave you alone. It's great.
Wow.
It's really relaxed. That sums Portugal up. So if I change my name to Miguel Montoya de Souza or something, because in Portugal everyone has two surnames, fine.
Suano Molinez.
That would be good.
Or Molineth. Molineth.
Molinesh.
Esh. So they do this sh.
It's all the sh and the zh. I'm getting into the intermediate now, and there are some weird pronunciations. Words that are quite reasonable in Spanish are spelt exactly the same way in Portuguese and pronounced in a way that just seems wholly random. Now, the Spanish word for reality is realidad.
Realidad, right?
Which is pronounced realidad, and you think, well, that's perfectly okay. I can understand that. And in Portuguese, it is spelt exactly the same as it's spelt in Spanish. So I assumed it was pronounced realidad, but it's not. It's pronounced heredage.
What? Wow.
And you're like, what? What? Sometimes R's are H's, sometimes R's are sort of J's. Sometimes H's are R's and R's are H's. It's really odd. And the rules change in different words. Mind you, having said that, English is a really confusing language as well. If you're
because we got so many different ways it's come from.
One of the hardest.
So, I'm slowly getting there. I've got another 2 years.
English is a language you have to memorize. Because the rules don't apply all the time. Spanish is one that is easy because the letters are always pronounced the same way, for the same. You don't have to guess.
One of my big problems, though, is that I can speak a little bit of Spanish. And that has actually been quite annoying in learning Portuguese. Because I tend to immediately go for the Spanish pronunciation.
If you spoke Spanish, wouldn't the chances be that they'd be able to understand you too?
Oh, yeah. Spanish and Portuguese people can just about understand each other. Depending on where you are in Spain. If you're in Galicia, then Galago, the Galician Spanish, to Portuguese. So that's even more similar to Portuguese than Castellan Spanish. But I speak Castellan Spanish because that's what they teach you at school in England.
That's actually what they teach here too. Which means that none of the Mexicans who speak Spanish can understand what you're saying. Which is useless because with a population of Mexicans speaking Mexican Spanish, why not teach that in school? We've argued that ever since I was a kid.
Well, most English people in Portugal either can't or don't speak Portuguese. Quite probably because a lot of them are retirees. So if you're an English person attempting to speak Portuguese in Portugal, they literally are bending over backwards to help. Well, not literally, they're figuratively bending over backwards to help you. They're not literally bending over backwards. That would be ridiculous. Unless you're trying to talk to a Portuguese contortionist, which I would really got a big thing about contortionists. Well, now you say that. Now you say that about prostitutes. In Spain, the Spanish word for love, jamón, is the same as the Spanish word for ham, jamón.
Jamón.
Right, which explains why it was the last time I was in Spain, I ended up buying 4 pounds of sausages from a prostitute and spent much longer in a butcher's shop than I'd intended to.
Yes.
So you've got to be very careful.
That's perfect.
When I was in my younger days, I worked as the graphic artist at a company that made water pumps, and the people in the back were all Hispanic, and a few people in the office as well. So there was one of the girls up in the office. She was Hispanic, but she was from Peru. She's Peruvian.
Oh, I love Peru.
And the guys in the back were mostly, I think they were mostly from Mexico. Martel was one of my friends. He was from, I'm trying to think, Tecalitlan. But anyways, I had invited him over to my house, just, for fun to visit. And we were in business at the time, so we had parrots and cockatiels and all of that. And in the house we had a purple-headed Amazon that was really smart and could talk and could say all sorts of funny things. And he thought that was the funniest, coolest thing that he'd ever seen, was this parrot. And I was, that was fun. So the next day we're sitting around the lunch table, and the girl, Jessica, she comes and she sits at the table and she's eating her lunch. We're all eating, and Martel starts telling everybody how he came to my house. And now he's saying this all in Spanish. He came to my house, and I showed him my parrot, and the parrot talked, and it said all these things. The second he said parrot, Jessica almost spewed her food on the table, because for her, what he said was, Tom showed me his penis, and his penis could talk. And it actually... And we were like, why is Jessica reacting like this?
That's great.
Yeah, it was pretty damn funny.
I made a terrible faux pas when I was in Japan, and I'd gone out for dinner with my then partner's parents, and afterwards she and her mother and like some friends gone somewhere else, and I was left with her dad and 4 or 5 of his associates. And it was never made clear, but I have always suspected that there was something a bit dodgy about her dad. That he was maybe like slightly a criminal or something, but his friends were quite sort of rough, big rough men. And we just went to this bar, and we were sitting there drinking shots, and I'd got a little bit drunk, and everyone was, as they were doing shots, they were going "Kanpai," and I thought, well, look, I should try and be a little bit more English. So a round of shots came, and I held up my glass, and they all went "Kanpai," and I went "Chin Chin," and all at once these great big burly men all turned into little schoolgirls and started going like that, and they wouldn't tell me what it was. I didn't find out until I got back to the hotel room that chin chin in Japanese, it means penis, but not penis. It means like willy, or it's like what like a little schoolboy would call it. And just to see them just go from being like these very tough looking men to just suddenly just going to being naughty little schoolboys was hilarious. But it's a strange place. You've got to be so careful. Different like the Americans refer to your bottom, your posterior, your derriere, as a fanny,
right?
And so the bag that you wear around fanny pack, yes, which is hilarious when they come to England, because in England fanny means vagina.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard that.
And you have people saying, "I've just fallen on my fanny," or "It's here in my fanny pack." Your what?
Your vagina bag?
I thought it was more like
it in your vagina.
I thought it was more like taint, isn't it?
Pardon?
I thought it was more like your taint.
Taint?
Do you know what the taint is?
The goose?
No, I don't.
It's the area. It would be the area between the vagina and the.
Oh no,
butthole.
Fanny is definitely,
Definitely.
the
You
vagina.
would know, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is yeah. It's,
Oh, that's funny.
also, I mean, I committed an enormous faux pas. The first time I was in America, I was about 19, and I'd been visiting some friends, and I needed to go out. I smoked in those days, and I needed to go out for a cigarette. So I was just going off to the balcony. I just said, "I'm just popping outside to smoke a fag."
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they just all gasped. And I spent the next 10 minutes having to explain that I wasn't a homophobic serial killer.
Jeez.
I mean, it's very odd, very odd. But what was the oh, and of course, yes. There's many mentions of it, but coming from Scotland, between Scotland and America, the use of the C word in particular is culturally and contextually completely different.
It's true.
As well.
It's considered one of the most foul words here.
Yeah, it's pretty bad here.
Whereas in the UK, it's in many cases very much a term of endearment.
Huh.
In Scotland, punctuation. Basically a comma where I live. But I mean, Chaucer used it, didn't he?
Yeah.
She sticks her cunt out the window and farts through it. One of the great English literary figures.
Anyways, gentlemen, I'm going to have to go. It is past 9 here, and I haven't eaten dinner.
Okay. I'm midnight here, so it's time for sleep, I guess. Or tea.
Yes, it's 5 o'clock in the morning here. I'm gonna.
Oh man, that's true.
Well, it's Saturday. I don't care. I've already had like 4 or 5 hours sleep anyway.
Well, good morning.
I will see you all next week.